corroborating evidence defined corroborating evidence is evidence either directly or by proof of surrounding facts and circumstances that tends to establish the participation of the defendant in the commission of the offense. That's the 1971 Davis decision. Defendant may be convicted upon uncorroborated testimony of accomplice. 1971 Davis, it's axiomatic that witnesses should relate facts and not conclusions. 1971 Elliott, I just watched a terrible... Sam Cedar's okay with the fucking status quo. Sam Cedar's okay with the status quo. He's okay with Joe Biden just punting the damn football, being Mr. fucking right-wing conservative. Sam Cedar is okay with the status quo. I mean, he's doing okay, right? He's got that show. He's making some money. Why wouldn't he become Mr. Capitalist? Hey, don't change anything. Keep it all the exact same. Biden said that he wasn't going to change. Nothing would fundamentally change. Nothing would fundamentally change. I guess he did pass that one bill with the one thing. Nothing fundamentally changed. Nothing has fundamentally changed, Sam Cedar. This brings me back to the McClellan, the Abraham Lincoln McClellan election. I don't know if Sam Cedar understands. Joe Biden has to have an election. He's got to have an election. Why? Back in the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln was fighting a civil war and he still had an election in 1864. So if Abraham Lincoln can still maintain, get an election, and the Democrats basically were on the side of peace, right? On the side of capitulation. And so Abraham Lincoln was thinking, well, shit, he only has like 4 months after the election to bring, the war to a close if that was at all possible. And it was against motherfucking McClellan, and McClellan wasn't even... The Democrats were running a peace ticket, like a lot of motherfuckers are saying about Ukraine. Capitulation is not an option. Capitulation, just let Russia invade motherfucking Wisconsin. It's just Wisconsin, who they need some Russian. You had that one motherfucking U.S. Grant. He said that one of the biggest successes out of the Civil War was the election. You had to have the election, and that was the fucking success. So what does the McClellan-Abraham Lincoln election of 1864 have to do with Marianne Williamson? Joe Biden has to run against somebody. Who else is in the landscape that's going to run against? I mean, Jon Stewart would be fantastic. Edward Snowden would be wonderful. Jesse the Body Ventura. But nobody else is running. The only person with the balls to run is Marianne Williamson. In fact, Joe Biden isn't even fucking running. And so Marianne Williamson's candidacy already, she's showing that Joe Biden hasn't announced his candidacy. That's when you get the presidents doing more and better for the people. When they have to fight for our votes. That's when Barack Obama got exciting, when he started doing speeches and getting all of us fired up. So Joe Biden has to, at the very least, acknowledge that an election, a primary, Joe Biden has to acknowledge it. Joe Biden has to pick one Democrat. He's got to pick one Democrat to run against him. Somebody legitimate, somebody formidable. Marianne Williamson is both. I would love Marianne Williamson to be my president. What, is she not strong enough, not tough enough? Is she supposed to do a bunch of bench presses or what? 200 pounds? Is that what she's supposed to bench press? We need a philosopher, a thinker, a person that can sign her own name, a person that can make speeches and galvanize the nation, encourage Congress to pass progressive legislation. We also haven't had a woman president ever. So Abraham Lincoln, I just want to go on and on about McClellan, Abraham Lincoln. So Sam Cedar, since you don't know shit about McClellan and Lincoln, I'm going to go ahead and drop some knowledge on you. Abraham Lincoln essentially had to run against somebody. He just gave a goddamn speech up at Gettysburg about how America is a government of, by, and for the people. Of, by, for the people, and then what? Canceled the damn election? He ran against George McClellan. George McClellan. During the Civil War, over 600,000 Americans were killed. Nick Brana, Edward Snowden, Jesse the Body Ventura, till they throw their hat in the ring. Marianne Williamson is it. She's got the biggest balls in America. And I think it's going to come from the Democratic Party anyways. You think the only way, man, Sam Cedar is so fucked up. He's going to keep on goddamn talking about DeSantis, talking about Trump, and then he's going to fucking try to minimize. If anything, it's great that the media is against Marianne Williamson. You don't want the fucking lamestream traditional media. I mean, they might be able to reach to some people, but really, goddamn, The View, motherfuckers, press secretary, when they make fun of Marianne Williamson, they're giving her all the fucking... They're saying she's it. They're saying they're scared of her. They're threatened. If you're not, then, just bring her in, have a debate, talk to her, and then, laugh. But if you actually think she's a threat, then you... So since nobody else is seriously challenging old status quo Joe, old Captain Grandpa, old Captain Dementia, Grandpa Grope and Sniff, since nobody is seriously challenging old status quo Joe, Marianne Williamson is it. She's got the biggest balls in America. The election pitted Abraham Lincoln and his running mate Andrew Johnson of the Unity ticket, the military governor of Tennessee and a former U.S. senator from the volunteer state, against former commander of the Army of the Potomac, George B. McClellan, and his running mate George Pendleton. The vote tally of Lincoln versus McClellan. How close you think it was? It was super duper close. During a goddamn war, 11 Confederate states didn't participate. Lincoln is going to win the election. He's going to defeat McClellan by 500,000 popular votes, 191 electoral votes. And he won because of the Union soldiers. 78% of the Union soldiers, the soldiers who believed in America, the soldiers who were against slavery, who knew that the black man is a man, cast their ballots in favor of Abraham Lincoln. So the soldiers voted for Abraham Lincoln. McClellan just took 3 states, New Jersey, Delaware, and Kentucky. Fucking Kentucky. Goddamn Kentucky. Militarily speaking, he was saying that to lose Kentucky is to lose the whole thing. He hoped to have God during the Civil War, but he had to have Kentucky because it was centrally located. But if you actually look at the map, there's a lot of centrally located states. But back then, Kentucky was, it was also his native home state. George B. McClellan ran on a peace platform, the consensus platform of the faction-wrought Democratic Party. Republicans and a number of war Democrats together formed the National Unity Party. They backed Lincoln. 11 Confederate states did not participate in the election. 25 states did. So 25 states, that's half the country. 25 states. 11 fucking states said they weren't even part of America anymore. So how could they participate in the election? The newly incorporated states of Kansas, West Virginia, and Nevada participated. The battle-born state participated in a national election for the first time. So that's fantastic, right? Kansas, West Virginia, Nevada, they got to participate in the Lincoln versus McClellan. Elections were held in Union-occupied military districts in Tennessee and Louisiana too, but Congress did not add their electoral votes to the final count. Wow. So bunch of bullshit elections happened, but at least they gave them a chance, right? Louisiana and Tennessee, there was Union-occupied military districts, but they didn't count those. They just counted the 25 states that participated, including Nevada, West Virginia, and Kansas. So McClellan's going to take Kentucky, Delaware, and New Jersey. And he never postponed or canceled or tried to postpone or cancel the 64 presidential election or the 1862 midterm elections. His Republican Party actually lost seats in Congress. So Abraham Lincoln is elected. He's got to fight the Civil War. 2 years later, he still has midterm elections, and then 2 years later, he still has a presidential election. We cannot have free government without elections, he explained, and if the rebellion could force us to forego or postpone a national election, Abraham Lincoln once said, it might fairly claim to have already conquered and ruined us. Woo! If we don't have this election, we're great, we're fantastic, but if we don't have these elections, then they beat us. They said that the Constitution, 3 branches, the election, none of that meant shit. They forced us to scrap our own system. I just think it's brilliant. It's like, I mean, just because you're, sailing on the Titanic, you can't have a different captain? Of course you can. All you do is just steer that big, stupid steering wheel. And actually don't steer it, right? You just kind of keep it still. There's a few hundred Republicans unhappy with Lincoln, including abolitionist Frederick Douglass and suffragist Elizabeth Cady Stanton. They broke off from the Republicans and they formed their own party, which they named Radical Democracy, the Radical Democracy Party. Oh, that damn Frederick Douglass. Sam Cedar don't know shit about no Frederick Douglass. Meeting in Cleveland in May 1864, they nominated for President General John C. Fremont, who had freed the slaves owned by Missouri rebels in 1861, well before the Emancipation Proclamation, only to be overturned by the White House. Among other things, the Radical Democracy Party called for equality regardless of race and confiscation of Confederate property. While McClellan was a Democrat, and therefore he was known as the peace candidate, it was just too hard, actually, for him to totally adopt it. He couldn't look at his soldiers, his brethren, and tell them that their labors and the sacrifices of so many of our slain and wounded brethren had been in vain, brethren. So even though he was the candidate, for the peace party, he basically was still for the war in some respects. After 4 years of failure to restore the Union by the experiment of war, the platform stated justice, humanity, liberty, and the public welfare demand that immediate efforts be made for a cessation of hostilities. A week and a half later, General William T. Sherman captured Atlanta. This was followed up by a major Union victory in Virginia's Shenandoah Valley. Suddenly, with the Confederacy on the ropes, the Democratic platform seemed harebrained. Meanwhile, Abraham Lincoln, old stinking Lincoln himself, received an added boost when the founding Fremont withdrew from the race. One prominent anti-Abraham Lincoln cartoon depicted white men dancing at a ball with black women. That sounds like a dream come true. That was supposed to work against him? Imagine getting to dance with a bunch of beautiful black women. Isn't that the dream? At California, the land of beautiful black women, and what that the etymology of the Golden Apple State, November 8, re-electing Lincoln, the orange, the golden orange, the golden pecan, the golden cashew, 55% of the popular vote. 55%. So they try to say, wow, landslide. I mean, in terms of electoral votes, right? Out of 25 states, he won 22 states. So the Electoral College makes it seem like it was a landslide. 212 electoral votes are going to go to Abraham Lincoln, and then McClellan got Delaware, New Jersey, Kentucky, 21. He got 21 electoral votes versus 212. So, yeah, he got 22 states out of 25, 212 versus 21. Looks like he kicked his ass, but it was 2.2 million versus 1.8 million. It was actually under 500,000 votes That's fucking close as shit. 55 to 45%. 60-40 is a blowout. 45-55. He's also the president. He's the president during Civil War. They're in the middle of a fucking Civil War. It's crazy that it was that fucking close. That's how close the Peace Party and the Peace Party, the political party, like, you needed to have an election, but goddamn, the damn Democratic Party needed to be something different, right? The Peace Party, basically, they're saying they was on the. If the Democrats would have won, the Confederacy would have fucking won. That would have been capitulation. So incredible that the Democratic Party had been. I mean, that had been so. I guess it's like Vietnam when they were sitting there. So you want us to lose? Is that what you want? Is you want us to lose? It's not that I want us to lose. I just want to stop the war. But the Confederacy gets to go on. The election having passed off quietly, no bloodshed or riot throughout the land, is a victory worth more to the country than a battle won, U.S. Grant wrote afterwards. Indeed, with Lincoln at the helm, the Confederacy collapsed the following April. Yeah! He was kicking ass anyways. He received overwhelming support from the troops, support the troops, and these are Americans. This is like the Second American Revolution. Super duper Americans. This is the greatest generation. World War II, yeah, the 60s, okay. But the Civil War generation, with the fall of Atlanta on September 2nd, there was no longer any question that a Union military victory was inevitable and close at hand. In the end, the Union Party mobilized the full strength of both the Republicans and the War Democrats under the slogan, "Don't change horses." In the middle of a stream, 3 new states participated for the first time: Kansas, West Virginia, and Nevada. So, welcome to the United States of America. Nevada, West Virginia, Kansas. 3 new fucking republics. 3 goddamn new republics are joining the great big republic. The great big democratic and constitutional republic. America's like the republic of republics. It's like the big brother of all the republics. So actually, Kansas, Nevada, and West Virginia, 3 brand new republics were born. And plus the greenback dollar, the land reform. So much shit. Civil War changed so much shit. Land reform. Do you like money? The greenback dollar? Then you should thank Abraham Lincoln. One available electoral vote from Nevada was not cast for some mysterious reason. And due to secession, the southern states of Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia, they did not participate. They didn't participate at all. And so what does that mean? That means Marianne Williamson is going to win. Marianne Williamson is going to beat Joe Biden and what? Fucking don't even run against the Republicans. That's the Democratic Party that has it. Don't even fucking just be as... Play hardball politics. Play hardball politics. Those fucking dumbass fucking pieces of fucking shit. Marianne Williamson at the debate said that she was going to meet Donald Trump on the field of battle. He's going to bring his hatred and she's going to bring her love. So we need to get at least... We need to get Marianne Williamson like The Rock. We need to get her some protection. Abraham Lincoln and McClellan. Abraham Lincoln and McClellan. The right to bear arms is not absolute. Let's see here. Aiden Heckman has not paid for his permits. Neither has Billy Tomlinson, but I don't think Billy Tomlinson is trying to move out there. No permits for Jerry Miller, James Bax, Robert Roman, Kevin Bertini, Robert Pickrell, Jinx's old place, Troy and Marcy's Inn. Oh shit! No wonder I had all those issues. Look at all the people that didn't pay for permits were the ones that were fucking with me. I bet you the ones that did pay for the permits were probably like, super duper wonderful and great. They're probably the angels. If you paid for the planning and zoning permits, Those are the angels of society. I think Robert Pickrell's part of the occult.